Auckland, New Zealand. A tanker collides with a car and erupts into a massive column of fire. The driver of the car has already escaped. Firefighters don't believe anyone else could still be alive in the flaming wreckage. But suddenly, something beneath the burning tanker catches the eye of firefighter Roy Kennedy. It seems impossible, but there is movement.
I saw a small human hand waving from under the wheels. There was no other body part or person visible, just a very small hand waving in the smoke.
12-year-old Shirley Young is caught in the wreckage. But to reach her, Roy must march into the raging inferno. The brave firefighter doesn't hesitate. He rushes through a 1,000-degree wall of flames to get to Shirley. But when Roy finds her, his heart sinks. Shirley's legs are pinned under the blazing truck, and there's no way to free her.
She was screaming, she was crying, she was yelling. She was in a dreadful, dreadful situation.
Now Roy realizes that he is trapped along with the little girl.
I knew that we were both going to die because there was no way out.
Fire crews are determined not to give up. They blast the flames with water and foam in an attempt to create an escape route. But Roy doesn't think they can make it.
Knowing that we were going to die, I took my helmet off and strapped it to her head and arranged the visor, pulled that down so that when they found her, at least she'd still have a face that people could look at.
Roy tries to take the little girl's mind off the pain by telling her stories about his horse and inviting her to go riding.
She was in a pretty serious way and she needed something to raise her spirits.
Firefighters continue to wage their battle against the hellish onslaught. Then, at the last possible moment, rescuers are able to fight back the flames and get to the tanker. Jacks are quickly put in place and the burning truck is lifted. At last, Shirley is freed. Roy delivers her to safety. Overcome with emotion, the exhausted fireman gives the suffering little girl a tender kiss.
We bonded in such a way through such a horrendous experience that it was a loving father-daughter kiss, and she just needed that little peg to complete the rescue operation and to let her know that someone was looking after her.
Fellow firefighters try to console the emotionally drained hero. Shirley spends several days in the hospital. Her injuries are so serious that she loses part of her right leg. But thanks to Roy, she has the inspiration to make a full recovery.
He sat beside me and was telling me about his daughters having horses, and that when I get out from the hospital I can go and ride the horse. It was really good what he'd done for me, because it put his life in a bad position too.
Wellington, New Zealand. Test driver Klaus Heimel spends the morning practicing for a very important demonstration. He's preparing to put this new BMW sports car through its paces for the company's top executives. In Klaus's expert hands, the vehicle performs with remarkable precision. Now, the moment of truth has arrived. The executives watch anxiously. Klaus tries to impress his bosses with a difficult 360-degree spin. He speeds down the track at 50 miles an hour. Then, Klaus's world turns upside down. Let's look again. As he goes into the turn, Klaus loses control. And the driving test turns into a crash test. Klaus is able to walk away from his dizzying mishap, but the company's new car is totaled. The next time these executives want to roll out a new vehicle, it's unlikely that Klaus will get the call. The Gulf of Alaska. 7 miles off the coast, a group of fishermen from California are having a lucky day.
The first halibut on the boat. Hey, Bob, how do you feel? Feeling good.
8 men and women are on an excursion aboard the 37-foot charter boat Irene.
Here comes one with the fish.
But suddenly, the boisterous group is silenced by a shocking order from the first mate.
Everybody get one of those on, please. We're sinking.
An explosion in the engine has ruptured the hull and knocked out radio communication. Passengers and crew are now forced to squeeze into a small, inflatable lifeboat.
This is really unbelievable.
I got 2 of them right here.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Lorna and Carson Chisholm are among the stranded.
I thought to myself, what a horrible thing to happen, to lose your life for a vacation. But you look out there and there's nothing. It's just flat and there's nothing anybody can do.
The fishing boat is going down fast.
Look out, you guys. It's coming this way. Irene is sinking.
Their lives now depend on a single overcrowded lifeboat.
All the water's coming out.
But there's big trouble.
Look at my water.
Captain John Farrell bravely volunteers to leave the rubber raft. He swims back to the Irene to take his chances on the bow. But the ocean temperature is a frigid 46 degrees, and the sun is setting fast.
We didn't have any connection to any entity. Nobody knew we were. The only boat on the horizon hadn't seen us. And I was just getting afraid that we were running out of time.
The frightened group searches their surroundings, wondering how they'll ever survive. All hope seems to be lost. Then, off in the distance, they hear the sound of an aircraft.
Take it easy, guys. Take it easy. Let's not get
Please,
excited.
we're rocking the boat. Please don't rock this. Everybody on the raft started waving their arms and jumping, and moving.
I remember yelling at them, we're not out of this yet. We got to settle down. If this thing capsizes now, we're still in trouble.
Just then, a Coast Guard search plane appears out of the south.
We found us. We'll get a cutter out here in no time.
But the danger is far from over. The life raft is going down, and a rescue boat won't reach them in time. Instead, a Coast Guard helicopter arrives and drops a rescue swimmer into the water. Rescuers must attempt an extremely dangerous aerial evacuation. One by one, survivors are strapped into a basket and pulled 90 feet up to the chopper. The first one makes it, but there are 7 others still in the water. And suddenly, their worst fears are realized. The unstable lifeboat overturns, plunging the remaining survivors into the freezing sea.
The helicopter and the raft had gotten closer together, and the raft swamped and threw me out.
Now the Coast Guard swimmer has an even more difficult challenge. But he overcomes the odds, and everyone is brought safely aboard. Everyone except for the courageous Captain Farrell. He's still hanging on for dear life to the sinking hull of the Irene. He's exhausted and losing his strength. Hypothermia is setting in. But just when it looks like the captain is going down with the ship, the rescue crew reaches him. When daylight comes, Carson discovers just how close they came to dying.
I spoke to the Coast Guard investigator the next morning, and I asked him how long would we have lasted in that water, and he said about 15 minutes.
Captain Farrell never thought that he would make it out alive.
I got off the
life raft. I'd already resigned myself to the fact that I'm not going to make it. I'm going into water that's too cold to survive.
Thanks to the heroic actions of the Coast Guard, this fishing trip didn't become a voyage to the bottom of the sea.
As I sat in my hypothermia treatment blankets and they were shoving hot water bottles around me and stuff, I realized just how lucky we were. We were all very, very fortunate.
Up next, bullets fly when a police officer is taken hostage by a desperate gunman. Plus, a rock concert comes to a crashing halt when the wall comes tumbling down. Then later, rescuers race to save a terrified man dangling 125 feet above the ground when the world's most amazing videos